Hello class, welcome to the welcome video of the Programming Logic with Python course, summer 2022. So right now what you guys are seeing is basically the output of a typical Python program. So it says hello world, so that's typically what you're going to say when you first write your first program in Python. We typically, in any programming language, um, you want to say hello to the console. So I said hello world. In my code, I wrote welcome to Programming Logic with Python Summer 2022. My name is Professor Gonzalez Altamirano, and I look forward to teaching you all the amazing language that is Python. And then you see underneath that it says press any key to continue. That's just the console telling me to exit the program when I'm ready. And I'll do just that. I'll press enter. And now what you're seeing is actually what's called Visual Studio. And Visual Studio is just a coding IDE. IDE is basically just kind of like an all-inclusive place where you can write your code, execute your code without you really having to do anything. So I do have a link to how to download this specific IDE on Blackboard, which I'll show you in a second. But just for now, all of this code that you're seeing in front of you at the moment is what was generating that initial message. And we're gonna get into how to write Python code in week one's video, but I just kind of want to show you the output and the background code, just so you get a little taste of what coding is. But let's start off with the basics. Let's go to Blackboard. So I'm going to close Visual Studio really quick and open up Blackboard. So Blackboard, I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with the layout of Blackboard, but my layout is a little bit specific to me, the way I organize stuff, and so I'm just going to walk you through Blackboard just so that you guys know what points to pay attention to every week because this is an accelerated course, because it's a summer course. It's important to know what to look out for. So right now I'm sitting at the announcements page of Blackboard. As you guys have noticed, I have one announcement currently posted on it, which is the brief introduction. I believe I posted this, on Tuesday of May 31st. I know I was still getting students who were registering for my class probably a little bit after that, so this announcement's basically just telling you guys, hey, I posted the syllabus, maybe give it a read before class starts which is now going to be Monday. So even if you haven't done it yet, you're fine. Just read the syllabus when you get a chance, preferably before Monday. I'm going to go over it in this video as well, so don't feel like you're lagging behind on that. So let's get to the course outline. So the course outline is where you're going to find the syllabus. And right now, this is basically how you do it. You would click on course outline, click on Python syllabus, but I'm actually going to open up the syllabus from a different window. So just give me a second. I'm going to close this, close that. All right, so if you were to download this syllabus from Blackboard and open it in a PDF opener like Adobe, you would basically see this screen because that's what I have it open on, Adobe Acrobat Reader. So I'm going to kind of go through the syllabus very quickly. There's not a whole lot in there that you obviously pay attention to it, but for me, not too much I want to go over, just like some certain key points. So at the beginning, I'm just welcoming you guys to the course, giving you the course CRN, telling you it's an online course. You have my contact information, so we're going to go over that a little bit later. But for now, just know that if you need to reach out to me for any personal or course-related issue, that's my Tunxus email. You guys can just send me an email. I'm available most of the time, so shoot me an email and I'll try to respond as quickly as I possibly can, depending on the time of the day. Like if you guys send me an email maybe like at midnight, I might be sleeping, so just take that into account. So office hours, I don't have official office hours, and this is an online class, so I did put on the syllabus that if you reach out to me requesting a kind of virtual conference via WebEx or Microsoft Teams, we could do that, but we have to both agree to the meeting beforehand, like time and date, and then we can for sure do that. So don't feel shy in asking for a one-on-one meeting if you feel like there's some questions you want to ask me, whether it's related to the course or just like personal questions. Feel free to shoot me an email about scheduling a video call. So there's that. Let's go down course description. You guys can read through that. Learning outcomes. I did put some key learning outcomes that you guys are gonna get coming out of this course, but just kind of know that when you guys finish this course, it's about 7 weeks, a little bit over 7 weeks. You guys are not only gonna accomplish these 5 bullet points, but you guys are gonna, in my opinion, uh, accomplish even more. Because I feel like when you guys are done with all the content that I'm gonna present to you guys are gonna be really good programmers after the fact. So these are just basic bullet points you will be able to do when this course finishes. So I, that's what it's there for. So moving on, we do have a required textbook. This textbook is pretty important because you can't really do the homeworks or access the chapter readings without it. Homeworks especially, chapter readings, it's recommended that you guys read those chapters. I do have that later on in the syllabus, but you can't do the homework without it because the homework is through Cengage's MindTap. So when you buy this digital textbook, it should give you like an access code, and through that access code is where you're going to be able to do the homeworks. So I highly recommend you guys get the textbook, or else you're really going to struggle through this course and not being able to do the homework. And you're going to see that the homework does count for a significant part of your overall grade. So let's go down to evaluation and grading. So you're gonna have homework every week for 7 weeks, and the homework assignments vary per week and like the number of assignments that I'm gonna give you. But completing everything is important. It counts for 60% of your total grade. The other 40% is actually going to be covered by the weekly quizzes that you're going to have. And those weekly quizzes are through the textbook as well. So Cengage provides a quiz for each chapter that we're going to go through. And that quiz, you're going to take it on your own. It's in the Cengage portal. So that counts for 40% of your grade. And that's 100 right there. If you do your homeworks, you already start with a 60. You do the quizzes. Depending on what you get for the quizzes, I'll add them all up and then average it, and it'll be weighted 40% of your final grade. Uh, this is here for grading you, and obviously grading you is important for you getting your degree, but I'm here to teach you the subject. So that's what I'm really going to focus on. The grading part is, think of it as secondary. Focus more on learning the topic, and then the grades will come. Um, so don't stress out over this. This is here so that you know what, at the end of the day, I'm going to be grading you on, but focus more on understanding each week's topic and doing as well as you can on the homework assignments and the quizzes, which we're going to get to. So let's go down grading scale. So this is just like Tunxus's average grading scale. I haven't changed anything. So this should be uniform across all classes that you take at Tunxus. So it's there for you to look at. Academic integrity, do your own work, don't copy other students. Um, if I see you guys are uh, outright copying, like if two tests are exactly the same, or if like, I mean, I'm not gonna really. It's hard. It's really difficult to, I guess, know if a student's outright cheating. I usually never call people out for that, but it's just there to let you know that um, don't cheat yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're taking this course to learn something that's going to be used for when you get into the workforce. And when you get into the workforce, if you end up becoming a software engineer, which is like a programmer, your boss is going to tell you, hey, can you write this program for me? And if you cheated yourself throughout college, when you get to that point, you're not going to really know how to go about writing a program in Python, like a for loop or whatever, because you were just cheating the whole time. So that's kind of what this is here for. Be honest with your work. If you don't get it, ask questions. Don't cheat yourself, because at the end of the day, um, it's going to come back to haunt you, if not necessarily in this course, but like when you get to the workforce. So just work hard, you'll be fine. This isn't anything too complicated. I try my best to explain it to you in a very simple way, which is what I'll actually get to that in a little bit. So for attendance, this is a fully online course, so there's no in-person classes. Um, what I kind of put here was I basically said, check Blackboard as frequently as possible. Every week you should be logging into Blackboard at least once to do the homeworks, do the quizzes. You probably want to do more than once, because there are a couple homeworks and then the quiz is like a couple questions, or not a couple, maybe like 15, 20 questions. So maybe the quiz for one day, the homeworks spread it out between 2 or 3 days. It's really up to you on how you want to organize your time. But just spend a good amount of time on Blackboard each week. That'll not only keep you up to date on announcements that I might do, like weekly announcements, but also just like being active in the class, which I'll get to. I'm saying we're going to get to everything, but we will. It's just like I wanted to go over the syllabus first because this is the official kind of outline for the course. So Blackboard Learn, that's just basically telling you what Blackboard is, how to access it. You guys know how to do that. So course schedule. So this is probably the most important thing I want to go over on the syllabus. So at the very top, I say the schedule may be modified by myself at my discretion at any time. Um, I probably won't modify it, but I just wanted to put it there in case I felt like I wanted to change a specific homework assignment at maybe like in week 3. I don't know. But like I said, I kind of like where the outline is right now, so I don't think I'm going to change anything. So homework assignments. Well, not just homework assignments, but weekly quizzes. All of that is going to be due at end of day of each Saturday of the given week. So 11:59 on Saturday, everything's due. So if we go to week 1, the weekly topic we're learning is an introduction to Python. And then if you see on the right hand side, I have assignments for week 1. And like right above it, I have it in red. So due on 6/11 by 11:59 p.m. So you have until basically midnight of every Saturday to complete everything. The first thing is not mandatory. There's no way of me grading or knowing that you've done it. But the first thing I recommend is reading the textbook chapter. So for week 1, we're going to be covering chapter 1. So I say reading textbook chapter 1. Now, if you're kind of like a person, maybe like me, who learns a subject visually rather than reading it, then I have another resource that can kind of supplement the chapter readings, which I'll get to. But even if you're not really capturing all the stuff from the textbook, I still recommend going through it, trying to read it each week. They're not long chapters, they're relatively short. So it's not like a 40-page chapter. It's maybe like 10. And they're relatively easy reads. So I recommend that's the first thing you have to do for week 1. Read chapter 1. The second thing you have to do is I give you homework assignments each week. So I highlighted it green. So the first thing is lab activity 1.3a, 1.3b, 1.4a, and 1.4b. So for week 1, you have 4 homework assignments. And I'm going to show you where they are on Blackboard as soon as we finish with this. The last thing you have to do for week 1 is the quiz. So you have module 1 quiz for chapter 1. Module 1 just means chapter 1. So you have the chapter 1 quiz. And that quiz also has to be completed by 6/11 at 11:59 p.m. So basically these two things must be submitted by that date. And I follow the same pattern each week. So next week you also have 4 homework assignments. You have 1 chapter reading for chapter 2, and then you have the chapter 2 quiz, and so forth. I think there's some weeks that you might have 5 lab activities. Some weeks that you might have 4, or this week has 3 lab activities. So it varies between 3 and 5. It never goes above 5, I believe. Um, Even though it might seem like a lot of homework assignments, they're not long. Once you really understand the topic, the homework assignments might take you like 5 minutes for each lab activity. Um, so understanding the topic before you even get to the homework will just simplify your life. So I definitely suggest going through the other resources like reading the textbook and watching the YouTube video, which I'll get to in a second. So I just cover it for the 7 weeks of the course. Obviously, the course goes into like another half week after that 7th week. That half week is really just going to be used if you've like fallen behind, if you're missing homework assignments or quizzes. Use those couple days to catch up. So that's what that's for, and that's really it for the syllabus. So I'm gonna close the syllabus for now. Let us go to Blackboard. So I'm going to go back to the announcement page. Let's go to, I showed you where the syllabus is. It's under course outline. So let's go to course content. So in course content, you're going to see, it's going to start off with the welcome video, which is where you're going to find this video. Underneath it, you're going to have the resource tab, or the resource folder. So if you click on that, you're going to see 2 things. The first thing you're going to see is a title that says professional networking, and then in that like dialog box, you're going to see 2 links. You're going to see the Slack link and you're going to see the YouTube link. So the YouTube link is just to my YouTube channel, which is videos that I create similar to this video, where I post all of the course weekly videos, not just for this semester, but for past semesters as well. It's just like a resource pool for my students. Like if they don't understand a topic, I typically try to make a video for it. Because sometimes I do teach these online classes, and I feel like you lose some of the instruction, that in-class instruction that you would typically get with an in-class, a fully or in-person class. Uh, I feel like you do lose that aspect of it, so that's why I try to supplement it with the YouTube videos. So yeah, that's my YouTube link. So you can click on it, but every week, so like if I go back to course content, I go to week 1, you will get a direct link to that. Whoops, to that. Hold on, to that week's video. So like you don't have to go to the main channel. You can just go directly to the video that pertains to that week. So I'll always post the link under this section right here. There's just no link to it yet because I haven't posted it yet. Um, but one more thing I want to go over, going back to resources. So that Slack link. So let me pull up Slack. Okay. So you guys might not be familiar with this. This is kind of something that I use for my classes. I don't know if any other teachers use it. So Slack is kind of like a professional collaboration tool for that you're going to see in the workforce. It's pretty much used in more modern companies at the moment. So Slack is like, I don't know if you guys know what Discord is. It's very similar to Discord. Discord is more for young people who like to game. Slack is more of the professional version of Discord. So basically, in Discord, you would create a server and then channels within the server. In Slack, we create a workspace and then we kind of create channels within the workspace. So just different terminology. So I recommend this link on Blackboard. Let me get the link back up. Uh, okay, so if you click on this link on Blackboard, it's going to forward you to my workspace on Slack. Basically, so I'll click on it right now, and we'll see. Actually, yeah, let me just pull this up. I have to capture the screen. Give me 1 second. Okay. So when you click on the link, you're going to get something like this. It's going to say, see what summer 2022 programming logic with Python is up to. So you're going to have to kind of create an account to join my server. Now you can use a Gmail. If you have a Gmail, you can use an Apple login, or you could just continue with a regular email account. It really doesn't matter what you use. Um, if you want, you can use your school email account. So you could do continue with email. You would do like your school email account right there, and then you would do your full name right here. And then once you do continue with email, it's gonna basically give you access to my Slack server. So you're gonna be able to see everything that is shown right here. So let me get Slack back up. Real close. Uh, okay, so there's Slack. So you're gonna see all these channels. You're probably gonna start off at the welcome channel. So the welcome channel is kind of just like me saying, well, I actually put a description right here. So I say, welcome to our course Slack workspace. Feel free to introduce yourself here. So I do recommend you guys introduce yourself. Say like, hello, my name is whatever. And then I do say to kind of like mention some stuff about yourself. So like, what are your career aspirations when you leave Tunxus? Or maybe you're working at a current job right now that you really like, but maybe you're completing a degree at Tunxus to maybe move up or get another job. So you guys can mention that there. What you wish to get out of this course, and any personal hobbies or skills that you might have that you want to mention. Just you would write it right here. So like you would type, hello, my name is Professor Gonzalez, and then so forth. And then once you type it, you just press the green button that was right here, press send, and everyone in this workspace is going to see it. So it's like a public discussion board, basically. Um, so that's the welcome channel. I have a rules channel as well. I do recommend going through this as well. It's just basically saying it's a professional platform. We're all adults here, relatively adults. I know some of you guys might be like maybe 18 or 19, maybe some a little bit older than that. But let's be respectful. I do say no politics, no racism, just be nice to each other. And most important, do not share personal information. Like don't give people your phone number, don't give people your home address. Common sense stuff that you would typically carry with yourself on the internet kind of transfers over here. Just be smart with what you share. If you don't want people to know about it, don't type it, because this is a public sort of discussion board. So I have a general channel as well. So if you have any general questions or inquiries for other students or for myself, you can just post it here. It's an open dialogue kind of platform. So I encourage you guys to talk with one another, network with one another, because you never know who can get you that job that you might be looking for. You never know. Uh, it's important to make connections in college. That's definitely something that I was told during my time in college, and I want to share with you guys. So make connections with as many of your peers as possible. So this is kind of an opportunity to do so. So I have another channel for syllabus questions. So you guys saw me go through the syllabus. Now, if you have any specific questions about the syllabus that you want me to clarify, post the question here and I'll answer it. I have another channel for weekly topic questions. So this is more for after I make the YouTube video. So like say you watch the YouTube video for week 1 and there's a specific topic in that video that you don't really understand. So post the question that you have right here and say, hey, professor, um, I watched the YouTube video for week 1. I don't really understand what a variable is. Can you kind of like clarify that for me? The reason I want you to post it here is because you might have a question on the YouTube video, and that same question another student might have as well. So it's important for us to kind of like collaborate as a group rather than a one-on-one, rather than you sending me an email saying, hey, professor, I don't understand this. And then I respond, and then another student sends me that same question. I end up sending 20 emails on the same topic. And it's kind of like, I guess, uh, inefficient. So this is a more efficient way of collaborating as a group because we are a group. We're a class. Typically, if we were an in-person class, if a student asked me a question, I would answer it and the whole class would hear. This is kind of a replacement for that. So just think of it like that. And the last channel that I have is the homework questions channel. So if you have a specific question on the homework that you get stuck on, you could like include a screenshot here. You can include a screenshot with text, um, and I'll get back to you on that. Or another student can help you. Collaborating with other students on questions of the homework is fine as long as you're not giving the other student your specific answer. Like you can guide another student and say, hey, maybe like on line 6 you might want to indent or unindent or outdent your code. It's okay to give tips like that. Just don't send your specific homework to another student. Helping students is fine. Giving them your exact answers isn't, if that makes sense. But that's basically it. So this is Slack. You're not mandated to use this. So if you don't want to join Slack, this workspace, you don't have to. You're not gonna miss out on anything specifically. This is just a way of you guys collaborating with one another, collaborating with me. This is just another way of getting in touch with me. Now, obviously, I'll still respond to emails to my school email. So if that's the way you want to communicate with me, that's fine. I just wanted to give you another resource to not only communicate with me, but communicate with your peers. Um, Kind of get that in-class feeling in an online class setting, if that makes sense. So that's Slack. If you guys have questions on Slack, well, you could email me or you could join Slack and ask me the questions. If you, so yeah, um, there shouldn't be any issues with joining. But if you do run into issues with joining using this link, shoot me an email and I'll try to work with you on that. So let's go to course content. Let's go to week 1 because week 1 has basically all the content already posted. Actually, the first 4 weeks have most of the content posted. Week 5, 6, and 7, I'm still working on it because, as you'll see, so the YouTube video is not posted obviously right now, but it will be before Monday. But for Coding Packet 1, I'm actually going to show you Coding Packet 1. So let's get Coding Packet 1 up. Okay, so you guys should be able to see that, and I'm probably going to enlarge it for you because it's kind of small. So let's see. Can you guys see that? One more time. All right. Okay, I think you guys can see that. So this is Coding Packet 1. I don't do PowerPoint. I'm not a big fan of PowerPoint. I feel like it's a little bit of an outdated system, especially for coding. I feel like coding is more of a line by line, um, needing coding block examples with descriptions on what that block does. I feel like that's more of an efficient way of learning coding than PowerPoints. So that's why I take this approach. It has shown a lot of success in my past classes, both at Tunxus and at Gateway. So it's how I teach. If you guys are probably more familiar with PowerPoints or maybe like for in-person classes like writing on whiteboards or yeah, writing on whiteboards. Think of this as my giant whiteboard. I make this available for you every week as a Word document under each week. There's 7 coding packets. This is coding packet 1. So let's kind of actually, I'm not going to really go through the contents of this because that's what's going to be for week 1's video. But what I will say about this is they typically range from maybe like 8 to 11 pages. And while that seems like a lot, it's not, because I do break it down by section. So the first section of Coding Packet 1 is just an introduction, and it's actually an introduction to Python in general. So I do give some like sentences. Python is this, Python is that. Um, and then I go straight into the first topic. The very first topic of Python here will be comments. How to write a comment. I give you guys examples of what a comment looks like. And all of my examples, for the most part, I may have missed like one, if anything, are highlighted in this gray kind of format. So you'll distinguish examples from just regular text that I write right here. Um, so that's that. And I don't want to go too deep into each subject for week one. But that's pretty much it. It's like 7 pages. So that's the coding packet. Let's see what else I want to go over. Oh yeah. Okay. So each week you're gonna have a YouTube video available to you, which I create myself, just like this video. You're gonna have the coding packet, which I just showed you. So that's 2 resources that I'm providing you each week. The coding packet I write myself. So it's my brain on a Microsoft document. So you're getting my way of learning programming, not the books. The book has its own way. So if you read the textbook is whoever wrote the textbook, they're trying to teach you Python their way, which is good. It's important to have different perspectives when you're learning something new. So that's why I say read the textbook and then read my coding packet and then watch the YouTube video. That way you're getting kind of like 3 perspectives on that one topic for that week. That way it can kind of like cement and really like nail in that subject for you. Um, so yeah, so textbook readings, if you want to get the textbook readings for that specific week, we're currently sitting at week 1. Just click on textbook readings and then you're going to be presented with this. It's basically just like a subfolder. It says chapter 1 readings. It's just my way of organizing stuff on Blackboard. Click on chapter 1 readings, and now you're going to get each section of that chapter. So you have lesson 1.1, 1.2, 3, 4, and then I always include the summary for the chapter. So once you read through all 4 sections, read the summary as well. This is not stuff that I've created. It's from the textbook. But it's, like I said, it's their perspective on how to learn Python. And it's they're not wrong. It's just everyone has their own approach on trying to teach it. And some people focus on other stuff, and I might focus on something different. So, like as you'll see when you read the coding packet, watch the YouTube video, and read the textbook, you're gonna be like, okay, well, the textbook focused more on this, and you're focusing on this. Which one should I kind of like know in preparation for the quiz? Um, Obviously, the quiz is from the textbook, but we kind of cover the same topics. It's really just where I'm putting the emphasis on. My emphasis might be different than the textbooks, but basically it's the same topics. I tried to make sure the topics overlap. So that's that. Let's stay on week 1. So homework assignments, like I said, on the syllabus, I do show you the specific homework assignments that are due for that week, but I also give you direct links to those assignments here on Blackboard. So if you go to the if you go to the week 1 folder, click on homework assignments, click on chapter 1 assignments, you're going to see all 4 homework assignments that are due for that week. So it's kind of like an easy way of you to get to the homework assignments. So it's there for you. Easy link to get there. And then finally, the chapter 1 quiz, or the chapter quiz. You just click on the folder for chapter quiz and boom, you're there. Chapter 1 quiz. Click on it. It's going to forward you to the Cengage website and where the chapter 1 quiz exists. And you just take the quiz. Yep. So, and it follows the same format each week. You're going to see the same thing. So week 2, the first thing you're going to see is the YouTube video, the coding packet, which is already there, the textbook readings, homework assignments, chapter quiz. So that's that. So that's it for course content. There is this discussion board that Blackboard provides you. I don't really use this, so try not to write in it. Um, the reason I don't use this discussion board is because I feel like it's it's not as interactive as Slack. And so Slack, actually, I forgot to mention this, has a mobile app. So you could download the app on your phone. That way you always can connect to me. Like, obviously, you could send me emails from your phone, which I'm sure most of you guys do. But just like being able to open Slack on your phone and maybe like ask a homework question or ask something like quick, that can not only go to me but to other students, and maybe before I get to it, another student answers your question for you. Um, I just feel like it's more interactive, and it's a quicker way of notifying one another, because I feel like on this discussion board, I don't get notifications for this unless I specifically go to this tab and kind of like see if there's like a number under unread posts. I don't know if you've actually written here, so that's why I feel like it's not the best solution. So that's why I prefer Slack. So yeah, I don't really monitor this. So if you do write anything in here and you don't receive a response, it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just that I don't really go here to check to see if anything changed. But I'll do my best to kind of like look here every now and then. But just know that I don't constantly monitor this discussion board. I monitor Slack a lot more. So if you do send me a message on Slack, it's the same thing with my email. If you send me a message at midnight, I might not see it until the next morning. But if you send me a message maybe like around noon, I might get to it like at um, because I have it on my phone as well. Maybe I see it and then, but I'm out, and then I get home like an hour later. Then I can respond to you. So like, do give me some buffer time before or between when you send a message and between when I can respond. I try to get to the messages as soon as possible, but obviously I'm not always in front of my computer or able to answer a homework question on my phone. Sometimes I do need to reference documentation at home on my computer. So do keep that in mind. But Slack and my school email are probably the easiest and quickest ways to reach me. So the last thing I want to mention is the grades tab. So this is just a way of you knowing how you're progressing in the course. Um, so once you complete assignments 1.3 A, B, 1.4A, 1.4B, and so the great thing about Cengage, at least this environment, is that it's gonna grade you automatically. So you don't have to wait for me to grade the assignment. It's gonna grade it for me. Because like it already has its own correct answer. So once you write your code, it's going to compare your answer to its correct answer. And if you feel like your answer is correct and it's still marking points off, so like say you believe your code is 100% correct and it's giving you an 80 out of 100, and you kind of like want to dispute that, you could reach out to me, whether it's through Slack or through my school email address, and we can kind of like discuss it. You can give me a reasoning why you feel like your code is correct, and if your reasoning's good, then I'll change the grade to 100. The reason I say that is because Cengage is very picky and what it expects as correct code. And that's not always the correct way of learning how to code, because coding is very flexible and there's a lot of ways to get to the final solution. So it's okay to be creative with your code. You don't have to be stuck in this very um, one dimensional way of coding. There's a lot of ways to code correctly. As long as you have a strong foundation, which is what I'm going to give you in this course, be creative with your code. So that's just that. This grade section is just a way of you knowing how you're progressing in this course. And I think that's it for Blackboard. I know this video is a little bit long. I'm gonna try to make the videos a lot shorter than this, but I do feel like there's a lot for me to introduce to you. Let's see what else I want to go over. So I went over Visual Studio. Oh yeah. Let me briefly go over Visual Studio just a little bit more because I kind of glossed over it. So you guys saw Visual Studio when I began the video. So this is Visual Studio. Now, when you do the homework assignments each week, you're going to be provided a kind of simulated environment inside of Cengage where it's going to give you essentially a text pad. So like if you have a Windows computer and you just type in like Notepad in your search bar at the bottom left, and then you open up a Notepad and just like write anything in it, it's going to be saved as whatever you save it as .txt, right? So they're providing you that same thing, but they're ending it with a .py, which is basically the file extension for a Python program, which we're going to go over during week 1, so don't worry if you don't really understand it. But basically, they provide you with a simulated text pad and a command window, command command prompt window, which is where you're going to see the output of your program. So what Visual Studio is, why I say to download it, is not that you need it for this course to be successful in this course, but because I feel like if you if your goal is to be a software engineer, um, Visual Studio is probably that Visual Studio and Visual Code are the most used IDEs in any company for software engineering. So getting experience working in Visual Studio will only benefit you moving forward. If this is your career that you want to really build your skills in, I definitely recommend installing Visual Studio. It's free. It works on Windows and Mac OS. So if you have either platform, you could download it. I provide you a direct link to that download on Blackboard. So you just click on this link and it will just direct you straight to. Actually, I'm going to go to it right now just so that you guys can see it. So it directs you to this Microsoft homepage where it shows the download for Visual Studio. You would just click on Visual Studio or download Visual Studio, and it'll just download for you. And once it does finish downloading, you're going to end up going. You're going to end up, well, not on this specific page, but like a welcome page. And let me see if I can kind of show you what it's going to look like. So I'm going to go to New. I'm going to go to Project. Okay, so this is kind of what you're going to see. Oh, actually, you guys can't see it. Let me capture this display just so you guys can see it. Okay, so you're basically going to see this. Going to enlarge it a little bit. Okay. So you're going to see this thing that says create a new project. And what you're going to do is, if you see here for language, it's probably going to say all languages at first. Just click on this drop down menu. Visual Studio is such a good program because it not only supports Python, but it supports a wide variety of programming languages. So I actually use Visual Studio from my C++ and Java classes. So it's a tool that really can be used for anything. And it's very intuitive and just a great tool. So to properly use it, you're going to start off here, click on all languages, go to Python. You're going to see that these options change. The first thing you want to do is click on the very first option, Python application, until it's like highlighted just like that. Click on next. Here you're going to give the project its name. So you can name it really whatever you want. You could do like week 1, practicing uh, print statements. Obviously, you wouldn't really name a project this. uh, you could just do week 1 practice. I think that's a lot better of a project name. So week 1 practice is what I would do, and then you would just do create, and then you end up with a blank canvas like this. And obviously, you would just write your code in here. You could do like a print statement, so like print. The very first thing you should probably do is hello world. It's just customary to always say hello to the environment that you're going to be working in. And then once you write your code, you're going to press the start up here, and it's going to run your code, and it's going to give you that message, hello world, just like this. And then underneath it, it's going to say press any key to continue. And then obviously you would just press literally anything, press C, and it will close. And you'll be brought back to this window. So yeah, just play around with this. It's a free software tool that will only be beneficial for you moving forward. Just having the skill, like when you go to these job interviews and they ask you, okay, what software are you familiar with, whether it's cybersecurity or programming. Just being able to say, oh yeah, I'm familiar with um, Visual Studio is a huge plus for you, because jobs are going to be like, oh wow, he's familiar with this very relevant software that we use and we have our employees use on a daily basis. And the fact that he knows how to work, move around and navigate himself through that software is something that a lot of other people might not have. So it's not just your coding skills; it's the software that you're familiar with that will actually get you in to these jobs. So yeah, I've rambled on long enough. I feel like I've covered quite a bit. It's a long hello video, but I did have a lot of stuff I wanted to cover. I hope this was beneficial for you guys. So week one's video, I'm probably going to go over the coding packet and work in Visual Studio and showing you whatever topic we're going to cover for week one, and then moving forward. So like I'll have the coding packet on screen, and then I'll be going back and forth with Visual Studio. And I think that's basically the format of the YouTube video. So, like I said, do expect the first YouTube video for week one before Monday. So, like Sunday night, I would say expect it. And then, as for future weeks, I'm only going to be releasing that week or one YouTube video at a time because I do want you guys to ask questions. So like if let's go back to Slack just for a second. Close this. Let's get Slack open. Okay. So I remember I do have this question on weekly topics. So say you have a question from the YouTube video and you want me to clarify it a little bit further. So and I say you have a question on week one's video and you mention it here and you want me to further go in depth on it in the next YouTube video. So that's why I kind of want to do it one video at a time. That way, if you have a question on week one's video, I can respond to it at the beginning of week two's video. I think that's like a better format. That way, this class is more interactive and it's not just me talking at you. It's more of a back and forth dialogue. So that's kind of why I'm going to release them uh, week by week. I'll probably try to release YouTube videos, I guess, to give you guys time. Let's. So the homework assignments are due on Saturday night. I'll try to release the YouTube videos by Friday. So every Friday, I would say expect a new YouTube video for the following week. So, like I said, for this week's different. The first YouTube video will be posted Sunday night. By Sunday night, maybe a little bit before that. Week two's video will be posted on Friday. So this coming Friday, which is the let's see, the 10th. Week two's video will be posted. So technically, our week two will begin on Sunday because week one ends on Saturday night, which is the 11th. So technically, our week two begins on Sunday the 12th, and then goes on until the 18th. So I think having week two's video posted by the 10th, and then every Friday their 4th. So week three's video will be posted on the 17th, and then week four on the 24th. I think that's like it gives you time to ask me questions before I film the video. That way I can include all of your questions in the video as well. That way it's more of a dialogue sort of situation. So yeah, if you have questions on that you want me to include on the next YouTube video or stuff that you want me to clarify from the previous week or for that specific week, if you're getting ahead, just put your questions under A4 weekly topic questions. And I think that's it. A lot of information, but I hope this was helpful in kind of helping you guys understand the course the way I want to run the course, showing you all of the resources you have available to you to learn Python well. And yeah, I think that's it. So if you have any questions, like I said, join Slack. I highly recommend you join Slack. Um, it's another resource that companies use, so becoming familiar with it is only going to benefit you. You're not required to do it, but like I said, I recommend it. Um, and yeah, but if you don't want to join it, just shoot me any emails. You have my email; it's on the syllabus. Uh, and that's it. Oh, one more thing. I'm sorry. I keep on saying I'm going to end the video, but I keep on not ending the video. Uh, one last thing I want to mention, because I feel like I glossed over it. I I did mention my name, Professor Gonzalez Altamirano, but I feel like I should give a little bit of background on who I am. So I got my bachelor's degree in Queens, New York, at St. John's University. My degree was in cybersecurity. So while the degree said cybersecurity, my programming included a lot of programming courses, a lot of database courses, a lot of digital forensics courses, and obviously cybersecurity courses, as long with along with a lot of math courses, because you do need a decent amount of math background for coding and cybersecurity. Um, so I got my bachelor's degree at St. John's. After that, I ended up joining the workforce. I worked a couple different jobs, ranging from like level one, level two techs, and a network administrator for an IT consulting company. So I did work those jobs. I did end up getting my master's degree in Maryland. So my master's degree was in cybersecurity as well, but with a focus on management and policy. So you could say that I'm well versed in cybersecurity, but um, programming was something that kind of always interested me, at least from my undergraduate days. So I did my my degree was not specifically focused in programming, but I did have quite a few courses in my undergrad, and then from there I ended up pursuing it on my own, so like self teaching. And I did apply it quite a bit in my workforce. So it does overlap. So like you'd be surprised where programming can be helpful, whether it's just writing PowerShell scripts or actually writing programs that are gonna run automatic, basically to automate your daily tasks when you're working. So even if you're not going to become like a software engineer, just having this background in programming can be helpful, as it was for me. So the programming languages that I'm proficient in is Python, Java, and C++. So those are the three programs that are programming languages that I believe I am relatively proficient in. But like I said, my degrees are in cybersecurity, but my expertise kind of is very broad. Whether it's networking, cybersecurity, digital forensics, like penetration testing. Um, I've definitely dipped my toes in a lot of different areas. So just so you guys have like a brief background on who I am, and what I've studied throughout my years. That way, you guys are like, oh, this professor, I don't really know much about him, but he's teaching me Python. So now you know a little bit about me. Um, but yeah, uh, now I feel like we could end the video. That probably should have been in the beginning, but I kind of wanted to get straight into the course itself. Um, and yeah, I actually, you know what? This is enough for now. 55 minutes, I believe, is a good enough amount. I can talk for a long time, um, but let's end the video here, and maybe I'll touch on a couple more things during the week one video. But for now, that's it. Hopefully, this video was helpful for you guys. Once again, I just want to welcome you guys to this course. It's going to be fun. You guys are going to learn a lot. I'm going to do my best to teach you. Ask as many questions as possible. That's how you learn. I was always a student who asked a lot of questions. I won't get annoyed if you ask me 20 questions during the first week. It's better to ask questions than not to ask questions. That's how we learn. So yeah, I'll see you guys in week one's video. So that's it for now. All right, I'll see you guys.